Some people think that attention deficit disorder, ADD, doesn't exist. Everyone gets distracted and bored sometimes, they argue. Sure, and everyone gets hungry and tired too, but if you're hungry or tired all the time, that's not normal. People with ADD have trouble paying attention even when they want to. ADD is a real disorder and affects adults as well as children. There is a misconception that ADD is a children's disorder, something that is outgrown by adolescents. While it's true that the hyperactivity often decreases in severity with age, this doesn't mean that the problem has just been outgrown. ADD is not a phase.
ADHD was first identified as a disorder in 1902, and for years doctors believed it was the result of serious brain damage. While that theory has since been proven wrong, the precise causes of ADHD are still unknown. What we do know is that the occurrence of ADHD is closely tied to biological factors such as the size and density of various brain structures and the way chemical reactions take place within the brain. For example, scientists have discovered that children with ADHD often have a smaller cortex, the part of the brain that controls thought and action. This diminished size usually occurs in the area of the cortex known as the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is an especially important part of the brain, playing a role in many key functions, including impulse control, socialization, reason, and research judgment. Shows that psychostimulants work by increasing the level of various neurotransmitters, especially dopamine. Dopamine plays a key role in those areas of the brain that help maintain focus and attention. Experts believe this is why ADHD patients respond well to psychostimulant medication.
When you look at the facts, it's hard to understand why there's such a lack of public knowledge about the existence of ADD, especially in adults. The condition has appeared in scholarly papers since 1902 and in psychiatric research since the 1970s. Attention deficit disorder does have some well-known faces, like celebrity Howie Mandel. Howie is currently spreading awareness through the public service campaign Adult ADHD is Real. You know Howie as the host of the popular TV show Deal or No Deal. You may not know, however, that he has ADD. Howie says, "I think the biggest issue in adults is that they don't think ADHD is real. When you think about it just in layman's way, you think of a hyper kid running around. As an adult, it affects you in many different ways." Hopefully this campaign will be successful in educating the public on the reality of the condition and to give faces to those who live with it like Howie's. Some people will listen to the word of celebrities more than that of a scientist, so it's important to have celebrities speaking out.
Right. Attention deficit disorder.
Yes.
And
what I'm doing now is I want to talk about it because it's real. You know, you think about it for children.
Yeah.
And there's a website which you should go to. It's called adultadhdisreal.com. Because if you think that you may have this issue, and I've always had this issue, and as much as the stories I tell are funny, they've also inhibited me because part of the issues in dealing with ADHD is you're very impulsive. You don't think of the ramifications. So I did things. No, I did things, but right. I didn't have a higher education. I wasn't allowed to go to college because I got thrown out of school for what you perceive as funny stories, but you know, I would have liked to have done it. And I've been married to a saint for the last 30 years, and it's very hard for me to even carry on a conversation or sit down and read something. And, you know, obviously I've gone for help, and I'm being helped, and I'm coping with it. But it is very real, and there are huge numbers of people that aren't diagnosed, that, you know, have attention.
Estimated 10 million people in America.
Adults.
What are some of the real characteristics of being an adult with attention deficit disorder?
Well, a big thing that's impacted me is, you know, I'm a father, and I can't tell you how many times, you know, I'm sitting, and my child comes home excited and wants to tell me a story, and then halfway through the story I hear, Dad, you're not listening, because I wander off. It's really hard for me to focus on anything. You know, I can make fun of it and have fun with it because I've got this platform, but it's not funny.
ADD does exist, and people need to know it. As Howie says, it really is an issue, and it is real. There is both scientific evidence of its existence and the voices of well-known celebrities who will confirm how real it really is. To the people who still do not believe, they must not be listening to the facts. Understandably, change in public attitude towards ADD can't change overnight, but the evidence has been there for many years. It's time now to better educate these findings and facts to doctors, patients, and skeptics alike.